Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I am Jason, for those that don't know, and I am a former accredited veteran service officer, more than a decade of experience in VA benefits, not just my own, but many thousands and thousands of claims through my office over the years. Now, again, now I'm focused on sharing the information with you here on YouTube. So I appreciate every single one of you subscribers, everybody who watches, everybody who hits the thumbs up, everybody who comments. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is, are our benefits slowly eroding? A little bit here, a little bit there. Are we losing? Are we seeing our benefits essentially evaporate? Before I jump into it, I want to throw out a special thank you to Robin Shane C2J. Thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very, very much. All right, so the subject here is, over the course of time, we have seen really nothing really for veterans. And then slowly it started to creep up and we started to receive more and more benefits and recognition. And in that ball, we were seeing presumptive conditions. Thank you to all of the Vietnam era veterans who had to fight diligently to get that to happen. And then it's almost as though we're seeing this pendulum swing where now we've already hit the end and it's slowly starting to come back. And what do I mean? I mean, we're seeing all of the rating schedules change, and typically it's not opening up the criteria. It's not making things easier as a whole. Now, there are some good things happening with rating schedule changes, but there's also bad things happening. And in my opinion, it's probably an 80-20. 75-25, but definitely more on the negative side than the positive side. Now, there are a few things I'm going to throw out here to you on that, and I'm going to throw this. Now is the time. Now is the time to revisit where you may have been. Now, or where you are, and know where you've been in order to know where you're going to go with your VA claim. You could be sitting on the potential for increases. You could be sitting on maybe missed opportunities for direct service connection. You may be sitting on presumptive conditions that may have popped up that you're unaware of. For example, Vietnam vets now have hypertension as a presumptive. That is huge. You need to take advantage of that if you have not. There are opportunities out there for secondary conditions. There are all kinds of different avenues to increase your VA disability compensation. Now, I guarantee you, is easier than 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, right? As time goes by, these things that we see happening are condensing. And I'm going to give you a few points here. Before I do, though, if you need help with your VA disability compensation claim, you need a little insight, a second set of eyes, I encourage you to search for a free accredited representative. Now, I get it. They're not everywhere. They're not in this, just overwhelming abundance of solid, credible, and competent VA accredited reps. If you cannot find one, we are here to help you. We've created evidence-based VA claims. That's ebvaclaims.com. The information's in the description and in the comments. Check it out. Free consultation, email consultation, back and forth. If we decide to take on your claim, we guarantee you'll get an increase. It's that simple. So let's put this into perspective here. With some of the most recent rule changes and rating schedule changes, two negatives that have already taken place where we're seeing a tightening path or closed pathway to higher ratings. One of them would be the elimination of insomnia as a secondary condition to an existing service connection condition. Now, it used to be possible. You used to be able to actually file a secondary claim for insomnia due to, say, your back issue is keeping you up at night, which is very common, right? You have musculoskeletal issues. Staying in one place tends to increase the pain level you wake up, you can't fall back asleep, and you have insomnia due to that. You used to be able to file that as a secondary condition very easily. That has been eliminated and can really only be filed as a direct service connection. Insomnia by itself, just some sort of a magical condition that's not caused by something else. That's one. The other that we've already seen change for the worst is the rating schedule for digestive systems. Okay, that is where GERD is found. For example, the gastroesophageal reflux disease. Many people have GERD, and it used to be a more broad set of criteria that was rated for GERD, right? Your different signs and symptoms and so forth. So your difficulty swallowing, vomit, regurgitation, substernal pain, pain shooting into your arm, all of these things were all wrapped into the criteria. So now what they have done, and they, meaning the VA, what they have done is they created, okay, let me back up. The GERD rating itself did not have its own diagnostic code. They rated it on as hiatal hernia, and that's where they use that criteria, which really is more appropriate in my opinion. So anyway, they decided to create its own diagnostic code, and at the same, which isn't the bad part. The bad part is they decided to change how GERD is rated. And what they did was they didn't set up its own criteria. They said utilize esophageal stricture as the criteria for GERD. Now, on its face, you're going to hear, well, you can get up to 80%. Great, you can get up to 80%. But the criteria is so condensed that very few veterans with GERD would be able to really achieve anything that's acceptable, in my opinion, on that. So with that being said, those two things have already happened. What we have coming down now is the elimination of tinnitus. Okay, tinnitus going away. That is a huge deal because tinnitus is the most commonly service-connected condition for a whole multitude of reasons. And the VA's proposal to fully eliminate it as a diagnostic code, as a service connectable condition, as a standalone, just is all going away. The only caveat to that is really, I guess there's two things. One, they're going to say, fine, tinnitus isn't a condition, but we're only going to view it as a symptom of a bigger condition, and that's what we're going to rate. If you can prove the nexus on that, right, on that condition. The other piece to tinnitus is the VA, will allow a 10% rating for tinnitus in the event that you have non-compensable hearing loss. So you must have hearing loss. You must be rated for hearing loss at a 0% with tinnitus, and they will give you a 10%. That's the only way. Now, you think that sounds easy, but for those of you that have hearing ratings, I guarantee that you think that you should be rated higher for your hearing than you are. The VA's rating schedule for hearing is not very good. It's a very stringent rating schedule. So all that to say is that we're starting to see all of these condensing of roadways, right? We're seeing this bottlenecking kind of happening. And is it intentional? Is it to really stifle down the veteran, or is it just simply the way that tide's turning and it's just happens to be this way? At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. What matters to me is it is happening. Don't care why. It is happening. And if you are less than 100% rated, you absolutely should today really dive into your claim. And like I said, get that second set of eyes. We're happy to help. And our information's in the description and in the comments. And work with us or whoever you can find to really make sure that you are currently properly rated, that you're not missing out on secondary conditions. You didn't miss out on a direct service connection. You're not missing out on a presumptive condition. You're not missing out on, hey, I'm lowballed on my current rating. It should be higher, right? Those types of things are important. So with that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.